Welcome to the Silhouettes of Success podcast with your host, successful entrepreneur, broker, and business mentor, Amber Weitzer. Because success comes in all shapes, sizes, and styles, the Silhouettes of Success podcast is shining the light on industrious women with a collection of curated conversations of intentional inspiration designed to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, feed your soul, and gift you with actionable insights directly from inspirational, everyday women who've shown tenacity, grit, and grace, having taken on the challenges in their lives and business and won. Remarkable, down-to-earth, and relatable, Amber and her guests will share with you uplifting and extraordinary real-life success stories, motivational ideas that just might help spark something within you. With the deepest desire to serve you, help you grow so you can begin to shine the light that will illuminate your very own silhouette of success. So, let's get to it.
Hello and welcome to the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success. Our VIP featured guest is the president and CEO of the Benefit Boutique, a woman-owned, full-service employee benefit brokerage based in Fort Worth, Texas. She is an international top sales trainer, having trained thousands of sales professionals all across the country. She is an alumni of the Goldman Sachs 10KSB program, cohort 23. She plays volleyball very competitively, I hear, loves to read, meditate, and travel. And get this, Silhouettes, we'll have her tell us more about this, but she plans to become a professional nomad in the next few years, running her company from exotic locations across the globe. Silhouettes, please help me welcome Daris Frencha. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Amber. Hello, everybody listening to us.
I am so thrilled to have you here. This is going to be so much fun.
Yes, it is. Because I don't do anything if it's not fun. Check out my LinkedIn page, okay?
All right, perfect. So with that quick plug, and just so you know and the audience knows, at the end of the podcast in the resource section, we will always include all of your goodies with your links so they can find you with seamless transition.
Woohoo. Awesome.
Yes. Okay, so I'm already going to throw the script out because reading through the introduction, inquiring minds want to know. I want to know about this upcoming plan of yours to travel the globe. So talk to us about that before we get into your backstory. We're going to
my goodness.
literally flip the script.
I know. Okay, we can flip the script. I'm flexible. Let's do it. So yes, that's a really big dream of mine. And I think 2020 and COVID just compressed it and made me realize that it is completely, totally possible. With more people meeting virtually and business being done afar, it is absolutely possible. It's not like something that is hard or difficult or risky. I know so many women and men that are doing it already. So my plans are to domestically, I would just get in my SUV, make sure I got strong internet, and go and travel to my favorite cities, like for 1 or 2 months at a time. And I'm not talking about like a touristy. I want to be in the environment long enough to feel like I really lived there. So New Orleans is on my list. Savannah, Georgia is on my list. I want to do Maine in the spring so I can eat fresh lobster right out of the ocean. I want to go to New York. Even though I'm from Chicago, that has never been on my list, New York City, because I felt like it was just a bigger city. But as I'm older now, more mature now, I want to have a check mark. I want to ride the subway. I want to eat a hot dog off of one of those food bins and just really get authentic, real experience staying in my favorite cities. Now, I do want to hit Mexico. I'm not going to drive to Mexico, but I want to live there. I want to stay in Mexico for 2 months. And not on a resort, in some cute little quaint town where they've got strong internet, right? That's my only requirement. And take Spanish classes and just enjoy the true authenticity of all the different places that we have that are on this planet. And the phase 3 would be going, out of this hemisphere, making it over to Europe or Africa. So that's a longer term goal. But yeah, I want to take a year to do that, what I just explained, and then enjoy life, just live and meet new people and eat new food and learn about new music and speak different languages. That's what that's about. And before I retire, because most people say, oh, they're going to do that, when they're 60s and 70s. We can do it now. We don't have to wait if your business model permits.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. So you did say in the beginning that, you only do it if it's fun. Oh, but talk about just massive gifts of being immersed and spending that time, the quality. And as you said a couple of times, being authentic in your time there.
Wow. Absolutely. And I love your word too, immersion, immersed into the culture, into the local natives. I want to go to the dive bar, not to the bar at the Hilton. That bar at the Hilton is like any bar at the Hilton in any city, if you ask me.
Yeah, right? Agree. 100%. Oh, how cool is that? Okay. All right. So Silhouettes, you just got a quick preview of what today is going to be like. But I tell you, that was really, where did the dream come from? I mean, how long have you been carrying this in your heart?
So that's very interesting. So it kind of was born from my divorce. And I joined a Facebook group about, the topic was Black women who travel and date, because I wanted to learn more about dating, getting back into the scene, like I said, after my divorce. And it was kind of a divine appointment because the topic was travel and date. So these women are like, there's one woman, she would house sit and pet sit in other countries. And that would fund her, that would finance her lodging, right? Mm-hmm. And then she'd be talking about all these fabulous dates she's going on. And I'm like, wait, hold up. This is a whole different dimension. First of all, she's got an apartment in New York City, but she'll go house sit in Germany for 2 months and date and travel there, and it'd be paid for other than airfare. I'm like, okay, I've been thinking too small. So I got a lot of tips from dating, about dating, but it just painted this entire different landscape. And again, I think that's how technology has brought us together. There are platforms where people want you to come and house sit. And let me tell you this, Amber, if somebody wants you to house sit, they don't have some little 2-bedroom, 1,200 square foot apartment, okay? They want you to house sit, usually some mansion or some beautiful, beautiful multi-million-dollar estate where they just want someone present to watch their cat. I'm with it. Okay, I'm with it. And again, as long as they got strong internet, right? So it just opened up a whole different dimension. That's the best word I could put, of living. And why not?
Wow.
Why not? So that's where I got it from. A blessing in disguise from my divorce and Facebook. Facebook groups.
Hey, you have to give credit where credit's due.
Hey,
right? Yeah, and move over Fluffy. Here we come. Oh my gosh. What a brilliant, and just the fact that you nailed it too when you said you were thinking too small. Why would we think like that? Right? Mm-hmm. Unless it just all of a sudden, did it feel like just this veil was opened in front of you?
Exactly.
Like, wait a minute.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
exactly. Because we don't know what we don't know. And then there's other, and here's something else too. I've always, I've come to the conclusion that we have all been fed a certain life, happily ever after, where it's this beautiful house with the 2.5 kids and the pets and the white picket fence. And that doesn't fit everybody. Another example is one of my clients. She was an older woman, maybe like 60 or 70, and we met at her neighborhood for coffee. She lived in an air park Amber, have you ever heard of an air park?
I have, yes.
I had not. I didn't know that there was these little communities where people who own small planes, they have, what is it called? The hangar for the small plane. But when you open the other door into the house, it's a beautiful 2-flat or 3-level, beautiful apartment. And she was the first person that actually planted the idea. She's like, oh, I go to lunch and my favorite restaurant is in Colorado. And I jump in my plane and I fly there whenever I feel like it. I was like, this is not a white picket fence. She didn't have children. She was an independent business owner. She was one of the first women in outdoor marketing. You know, the signs. What do they call the signage boards? She was one of the first women in the 60s that disrupted that industry with her woman-owned company. So she was financially free, living in the air park, and she could go anywhere she wanted to at any point. And I was like, okay, that's a whole different happily ever after. So I just started, I think once you are open and seeing these other ideas, the universe brings you just compiles on that and brings you other examples of like, what is your happily ever after? So yeah, that was actually the first person that blew my mind with like, there's a whole different way this can go. Wow. How do I want it to go?
That is fantastic. Oh my gosh. Wow. What a visual. What a visual. Just, okay. Oh my. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
I have to go home and reevaluate my whole purpose after meeting with that woman.
Yeah. I am.
Oh, and let me tell you, the restaurant, the cafe we had lunch at was right there on the tarmac where the planes take off and come back. And we're just sitting there and somebody else is going to their destination. Somebody's coming back from some amazing trip. And I was like, that gave it even more visual and perspective. Because it's the small planes, 2-seaters or 4-seaters or something like that. And they're just coming and going like an Uber.
Oh my goodness.
So when they say the sky's the limit here, bam, that's a whole nother perspective. Let's look at it that way. It's crazy. Wow. It's beautiful.
Beautiful crazy.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. We're going to get on track here.
Okay.
Only because we've got to, I want to share as much as we can with the audience on that, but I don't know that we're ever on track because this just goes where it needs to go.
Right?
But I want to showcase as much of you. Okay. Anyways. All right. So let's talk about having you share a little bit more about maybe your background with the audience, because clearly we are gaining perspective into your future.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about the early shaping of your silhouette of success and how you have come to this magical place of your present and clearly your future. But talk to us a little bit about it.
So yes. So I think I already said I'm originally from Chicago. I got here to Fort Worth, Texas about 11 years ago. And that's, I came here with my then husband, right? And I was at a point, I think, now you're making me think about it. I think, or I know now in looking at it in hindsight, when he said he had the opportunity to move from Chicago, I was like, yes. Okay, yes. Let's go. Let's do something. There's got to be something bigger and better. I'm open. I'm game. Got to Fort Worth. Absolutely love it. But I was still employed by someone, by a company that I absolutely abhorred. My mom said, don't use the word hate. So I'm going to get as close as I can to that. Abhorred working for this company. And so I was going into his office to quit and just bam, drop the mic. I'm done. But there was a divine appointment where he said, well, why don't you just, and I was in sales. I've always been in sales. Why don't you just open the Dallas Fort Worth market? We didn't have a presence here. I'm like, with 900 miles between us, maybe this could be a better relationship. So, and then low key, I hope he doesn't hear this podcast, but I hope he does. I was thinking I could still be looking for another job anyway. Why I cut off my nose to spite my face. So I got down here, I opened the market, I killed it. I put $1 million contracts on the books. And then I had an epiphany, like, I could build my own business. Why am I building his business? Because I still didn't have that much love for him, right? But the experience and the confidence I got in coming to a cold market in a male-dominated industry, it was retail fixtures, not fun at all. That's why I only do things that are fun now. But I killed it. And it gave me the self-confidence and the self-esteem and the vision to say, okay, what can I do? What do I like to sell? How would I like to make an impact on community or the economy? And looked into some other options and contracted with a company called Legal Shield, where I became a B2B salesperson selling employee benefits. So streaming along, doing very well in that, was able to replace my income, did it privately, and replaced my income, then went in and dropped the mic and resigned. And then doubled my income within 2 years of that. And then after that, we're right about at 2018, 2019, going into COVID. And I was like, just having this feeling, this something in my gut, something in my spirit, something when meditating. Okay, there's more. What else? What else can I do? How else can I be a resource? So because my clients were always asking for more employee benefits, I decided, okay, instead of referring that business out, why don't I keep it in-house? And that is the beginning of the Benefit Boutique. I went from just a couple of voluntary benefits, which were legal and identity theft protection, to full service, woman-owned. And I got the vision that I want to change what benefits and insurance looks like. Because let's be honest, when you think about insurance, you think about some old white dude with gray hair and a gray suit, and he's putting you to sleep. And I'm like, no, we're going to put some creativity into it. That's one of my taglines. We make benefits fun. I called it the Benefit Boutique to as a double entendre. I wanted it to be feminine, unapologetically, but I'm also playing on the fact that we customize a benefits package for your employees so that an employer can be more competitive at attracting and retaining talent. So from there, I then joined the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. And if there any small business owner on here, check out your local program. It is an absolute game changer, especially if you're an entrepreneur that was just blindly figuring it out and you're still here. Because after this program, I look back, I'm like, I don't even know how I made it this far. If I knew this then, I would be at 5 million in revenues, but it's okay. This is my path. Coming from a W-2 employee to, okay, let's get into sales. Okay, let's get into owning a business. I did the best I could, and I am still very proud of myself. But this right here now, I ended this program with the 10KSB with a 5-year growth plan and resources and the network to take my business to the next level and to scale and to take other women. I prefer women. I learned in the program that I can't be sexist and say I'm not hiring men, blah, blah, blah. But my dream is to show other women how to get to 6 figures a year. Because my other personal motto is, other than if it's not fun, I don't want to do it, is there's nothing more attractive than a financially free and confident woman. So I want to take what I've done, not only helping these small businesses be more competitive and attractive at retaining talent, but I want to help women make their own money, financially independent, in a culture of sisterhood. that. I don't know. Did I answer your question? I don't even know.
Well, you have answered that question, questions I didn't know to ask, questions that I'm going to ask later. But I tell you what, don't stop, keep going. Because, again, sometimes we just, like I said, we roll with it and just whatever's on this paper is just kind of, on the paper. Wow. So, and those are some of the things that we were going to talk about today. And so you are covering them left, right, front, and center. So, talk to us about, I'm going back through here now. I was taking some bullet point notes. You are a advocate for clearly the program, the Goldman Sachs 10K small business. How did you come across that? Did someone introduce that to you? Because again, we are talking to such a vast audience, very similar to what you were sharing is your audience. And, for the most part, it's women listening, right? That's my niche with this. But how did you come to find out about that program?
Great question. So I am also officially women certified by the Women's Business Council Southwest. WeBank is the national acronym, WBENC. So that's an organization that allows you to get official woman-owned certification, because nowadays there's a lot of companies that have allotted billions of dollars to be paid to women-owned, minority-owned, all of our new non-majority stakeholders. And here's the thing, here's a nugget I do want to share. I was told about the Goldman Sachs program probably about 4 years ago, Amber. And I didn't give myself permission to apply. I thought, I was playing small, not recognizing who I am, not recognizing that I am a business owner. I thought that was like something, I put people on a pedestal that was in that program. And I share that to be transparent, that a lot of times we downplay our greatness. And we don't give ourselves permission. I want to give everybody on here, you get a permission slip to be the best, to step into your greatness. But I hid behind it, or I was afraid of it, or I was comfortable, or whatever the case. But for the most part, I feel like I did not believe in myself enough 4 years ago to apply for the program. So again, so coming back toward 2021, like these shifts, these epiphanies, these reevaluations, I gave myself the permission slip. It's like, I can do this. I am I have the full potential. I am great, and it's time for me to stop shying away from it. So I applied. Now, I sound very confident now because I've been accepted and completed. But I took the step. And I said, this is for me. Nobody else is better than me. I'm not, I'm top shelf too, right? So I found out, to answer your question, I found out about it years ago with the Women's Business Council. Saw all these women going through the program and just thought I wasn't good enough until a couple of years ago. I just did it 2022. Yeah, so 2021 is when I started reevaluating my thinking and me holding myself back. And so then when the opportunity came around, I put in the application.
It's interesting listening to you share. And then earlier you talked about with this program, had you known this, it would have, meant XYZ dollars in your pocket at this point. But would you agree that a lot of it is about timing and when our head and hearts are ready to hear it? And like you broke it down, you didn't give yourself permission. And I want to share with you, that is something that I too had to learn the hard way. And still, I think sometimes we struggle with. And I created a permission slip and have given those out. So you and I are like in sync on that one.
See?
Yes, I'll tell you. And it's so funny. We were meant to talk today because
Absolutely.
I literally was and I know the cool kids overuse that word, but I was, before we got on, I was emailing back with you. I was finishing up packaging some swag bags for a South Dallas event, a theater event. And that's what I was packaging, the permission
slip. Oh my!
So we were we were meant. Oh my gosh!
How about that? And so, to our audience,
yeah,
I did not have the questions. We did not prep. This is all from the heart. This is divine appointment. Okay, not even coincidence. Divine appointment that we are both on the same page. We are all on the same page.
And here's something else with that. Before our interview, and I'm going to tell you right now too, you don't know this either. So this is new for you. My screen has now frozen, so I cannot scroll through my interview script. And I'm sitting here and I thought, quit messing with it, because if I kick her off, I'm not going to, I don't know what happened. And these are all first. I mean, I'm telling you, an audience in the beginning when she came on, to my failing, my PDF didn't make it over to you. And so she has no questions. And so here we are. And now I have no script. So, okay.
Speaking from the heart. That's okay.
Right. That's right.
we weren't on script in the first place anyway, Amber. You flipped it at the beginning. So
that is hilarious.
It's gone now.
It is true. Oh, my Lord. So talk to us about a day in the life for you. So see, I have done this enough that some of these questions are in my head. But so talk to us, what's a day in the life look like for you, your business day? Are you very structured? Are you more of a free spirit? Talk to us about that.
No, great question. So my mornings, I have to start off with my gratitude practice. I read a book by Rhonda Burns called The Magic years ago, and it's as simple as journaling 10 things that you are so grateful for, and that just puts me, I feel like, in a place of being open, of receiving, of abundance. Because a lot of times, and I'm guilty of it too, where the first thing when I'm waking up, I'm thinking about my problems. And from having this practice in place, it just changes my perspective. I see, some people may call it Pollyanna-ish, where you're like, oh, everything is wonderful and fantastic. I would rather be in that space than, oh my God, oh my Lord, I'm not going to get this, blah, blah, blah. So I do my gratitude. I journal. I have coffee. Absolutely. I look at my day. I identify the 3 most important things that have to get done, and sometimes they don't. And I plot my calendar accordingly, looking at my appointments, things like that. And at the end of the day, I review, what happened, what didn't happen. I try to work out in the evening or go get me some volleyball in, or do something therapeutic physically. I don't like to cook, y'all. I don't like to cook. I like to make reservations, but I'm trying to get better at that. Especially since I have an empty nest now. It's like, I do not have to cook. I just got to make sure the cats eat. That's it. And then I end my day with looking back, scanning the day, and finding that one thing, the one biggest thing I'm most grateful for, because I want to open my day in gratitude and meditation. I skip the meditation in the morning or the evening, but I want to open my day. Most important thing I want to get out, as I see our time is running out, is to start my day with gratitude and to end my day with gratitude.
It's so beautiful. With that said, if you've got a little bit more time, I'm game. Do you? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to watch it because, yeah, we do. Yeah. So I want to ask you a couple more questions because there's just too
Okay.
much here. So, we are able to always see, given like we've talked about earlier and during this podcast, just so much exposure, or insights or social media or different things that either we want to share, that show up without us wanting it to be shared, all these great things and not so great things. But as women, particularly, I think we sometimes look and say, oh, how does she do it? We all have the same amount of hours in the day. But looking at what you've accomplished and looking at your achievements and even participating in this program that you talked about, how do you get it all done? What you talked a few minutes ago about priorities, setting your priorities, but and giving yourself permission. And I'm thinking maybe you give yourself permission to maybe not get those top 3 priorities done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But share with the audience maybe. And I'm combining again. I'm looking at the air because I'm combining probably 4 questions that I would have asked you separately,
That's okay.
but we can't scroll.
Right.
Yeah, maybe some tips and tricks for the audience on things that, whether it be positive adjustments you've put into your world or your life or different goals, opportunities. How do you get it done?
Okay, let's dive in. Let's start with the time management part. Well, no, let's start with the spiritual and being respectful of what everyone believes in or maybe not believe in. A mindset, starting your day and ending your day with control over your thoughts, which is a bigger byproduct of gratitude. Making sure you take the time to identify what you're so grateful for. One of the big things and one of the biggest, smallest things in the book, we spent a whole day on just being grateful for air. And I was like, wow, it just puts you in a different space, a different energy. So that's one, the spiritual, being connected to your greater self, which is all comes from your mind. Then from a time perspective, yes, I used to be very rigid. Oh my goodness, if this doesn't get done, boom, 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 boom. But then I learned from a mentor, it's not being rigid, it's being dynamic because every hour changes. If there's something on that becomes of greater importance or less importance, yes, I give myself grace to reschedule that or remove it from the schedule or the priority list. And again, I give myself that, and I call that my self grace, right? Because we can't be perfect. Then that's when it's overload and overwhelming for me in my experience. So instead of being rigid, I'm dynamic. I'll reschedule or reprioritize from a time management perspective. From kind of more like the work-life balance, it's very important at the beginning of the week that I am putting my workout or my volleyball or Sunday fun day, whatever it is, to decompress and have what they call balance. And that's a whole nother podcast. I have air quotes, balance. Yeah, right. But to make sure I'm not a workaholic, which I am, and I'm working on that. I'm working on that. That's been something just as of recently in the last 6 to 9 months. My coach was like, Daris, what do you do for fun? I read. And she's like, no, we need you to and travel, but I don't travel every week, right? I travel quarterly or something. And so getting back to things that I'm just as curious about as traveling, but that's local, trying the new restaurants, volunteering. So I think I tried to hit 3, the spiritual side of you connecting with you and controlling your mindset, and the time managing time part, be dynamic and not rigid, and then get the fun in there. Get the fun in there. If it's what is this all for? as ambitious as I am, if I'm not having any fun, then what's the point? And at some point it won't become fun. It'll become a chore. So I hope that was helpful as far as how do I keep going? And then and I got bills to pay, and I got a lifestyle. I'm trying to figure out how to fly first class all the time. I'm trying to figure out how, to stay at the $5,000 a night resort and not the, all inclusive. No disrespect to it. I love it. But you get my point. I want a driver. I need someone to cook for me because I like reservations. So that keeps me going. And being that example for my family, because I definitely come from a blue collar family and am the first entrepreneur and want to introduce people to these different dimensions that I have discovered, and not just my happy ending, but introducing everyone to the point that you create your happy ending. We've been sold one as women, married with children, retire in that house, and then maybe you can travel after retirement. That's not my happy ending.
You're flipping the script on that too.
I see a pattern here.
Right. I'm the
I
rebel.
love that.
Okay.
That's right. I love it. But when you just were talking about introducing different things to your family from your growth, just the joy in hearing you say that.
Thank you.
How cool is that? Yeah.
That keeps me going. Because you know what? I think as women, we'll do stuff. We'll go harder and longer for our families or friends, even, or our community or whatever our cause is. And sometimes we will give up if it's just for me only. I'll just say this for myself. I would probably not have as much resilience, but I'm trying to help. It's not about me. It's a bigger picture that I'm trying to paint for other people.
That's awesome.
That makes sense.
It makes sense. Oh, it's beautiful. Thinking on that, you mentioned a few minutes ago, and I wrote that down about being dynamic and that not rigid, but being dynamic and a mentor. Shared that with you. And you talked about your coach, your business coach. So with that and sticking with maybe that train of thought, we all crave different resources. You mentioned The Magic by Rhonda Burns earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have any other resources or favorite books you'd like to share with the audience?
You are a badass, and I was trying to think of her name real quick.
Jen Cisnero.
Yeah, okay, yes. We've all heard of that one. Okay,
awesome.
I have. Okay, so I can be transparent.
Go for it. Give it all to us.
Okay. I'm going to give you the name of the author. Her name is Alexandra Roxo, Roxo.
Mm-hmm.
And her book is about heal yourself, reclaim your voice, and stand in your greatness and stand in your power. I apologize. I just pulled it up. The name of it, it's the F word, like a goddess.
Okay.
And it's not about this whole, the traditional definition of the F-bomb. It is taking it to a whole nother level spiritually, emotionally. It's a process. It's kind of similar to the magic. It's set up to be your a path. Well, I don't want to say a path. Exercises that you complete and practice on your timeline. She is telling, she's reminding us that, we're the feminine power, that, like kind of similar to what I was saying. We've been sold one happy ending based on, the male dominance and thing in the world that we've been living through or been brought up to believe in, and that makes us sometimes tear up our permission slip. It's so thought-provoking, gives you reflection, and she tells you in the introduction, there are going to be points in the book where your subconscious is going to say, you know what, you don't need to finish these practices, because she is making you dive so deep into the programming that you've been taught, and wants you to unprogram it, wants you to tear that programming up and heal yourself, reclaim your voice, and stand in your power. So I was afraid to say the F-bomb, but it's F-bomb like a goddess. And it's healed me. And I'm on my third reading now, because we have to keep reading. We have to keep doing the work. It's a book that's going to make you do some work. So,
well, we need
Alexandra Roxo.
Okay, so we're going to add that to the resource section as well.
Yes.
But that one, wow. Thank you for that. That one sounds extremely powerful.
Very powerful. And I love how she's unapologetic about using the F-bomb.
Right.
But if that offends you, that's fine. It's not for everybody, but it was brought into my life. It was recommended to me, and it has just changed me and given me permission. It's probably why I was like, the Benefit Boutique, we making this feminine. This is we're going to redefine and stand in our power as women.
So again, now we've pushed the envelope on different things, and I love that. So I'm all cool with it, but we do need to watch your schedule and the time. So
I know.
With that said,
I know, but I'm saying that regrettably, like, I know we got to watch our schedule, blah, blah, blah. I can
right,
talk to you forever.
I'm not being rigid. I really am not.
Right.
Being dynamic and watching the clock.
I know.
But what I do know is I think what we'll have to do is collaborate later, number one. But
absolutely.
Past that, what sounds like it might be pretty phenomenal is we might have to catch up with you on each of your stops during your tour of immersion of the globe. So
absolutely,
we might have to get a check-in, right? We might have to. Yeah, we got to also hold you accountable for getting you on the road.
Absolutely, that will do it.
Yeah,
that
will
definitely do it. Absolutely. I put it out there, right? So
there you go.
There you go.
Okay. All right, my lady. So as we begin to unfortunately wrap up for this time, would you, and you've shared a couple, but you might have something else, or you might want to just repeat it for us. Is there a piece of go-to advice that either you love, that you've talked about a couple, that maybe something has stuck with you over time that you'd like to pass on to the audience?
I feel like the permission slip and practicing gratitude. Well, I think you're going to give yourself a bigger permission slip from practicing gratitude. That's been the most life-changing daily practice. And hey, guess what? It doesn't happen every day, but I know I can tell you this: when I don't practice gratitude, my whole day is off. My whole energy is off. So if I'm running late or have an early appointment and have to shuffle some stuff, I'll just say I'll throughout the day, I'll verbalize things that I notice. Oh, I'm so grateful for traveling mercy. I made it to this appointment on time. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this introduction. Oh my goodness, I'm glad that other meeting got canceled because I was able to do this. Whatever. Oh my goodness, I'm so grateful for my family, not just our business either. That's the one main thing that I think it's so easy to do, and it's so not easy to do. And even, if you call it prayer or meditation, just identifying and feeling from the bottom of your heart gratitude, for just the smallest things, the smallest things, and the big things too. But I think we overlook the small things that are all orchestrated and gives us life, that are here for us.
Yeah.
So
powerful yet again, words of wisdom, and easy to do, but not always easy to do. So practice it. It's a habit, right?
Yes. Yes. And the Magic by Rhonda Burns, it's a 30-day a practice. So she gives you the topics, she gives you the ideas, and they range from everything. Like I say, just being grateful for air, to relationships, to your relationship with money, which is energy. Yeah, that would be my number one. Read that, try that, and keep it. Because like I said, I came across it years ago. And when I'm feeling negative energy or out of touch with Daris, I'm like, okay, my gratitude meter must be low. Let's refill. So I might be reading it like 2 or 3 times a year. I might do that practice. I might read it 2 or 3 times a year, but I am still practicing it on a daily basis. But life happens, right? So I need a refuel, right?
Absolutely. Goes back to what you've mentioned about mindset earlier too. So, all right, my lady. So as we close out, the stage is yours. Where can our audience go to find and connect with you and support you in your continued success? You can share any socials or your website or contact information.
Absolutely.
Stage is yours.
Oh, absolutely. So definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. That's my preferred social media platform. And side note, I've given myself permission or grace to not dominate all 5 of the platforms. You're not going to find me on TikTok, okay? I am unapologetically mainly on LinkedIn and Facebook. So LinkedIn is linkedin.com/Daris Frencha, DARISFRENCHA, one word. If you are an employer that has employees and you're looking for some amazing, creative, cost-effective ways to attract and retain talent, you can go to thebenefitboutique.com/creative benefits. And hey, if you just want to reach out to me, feel free to email me, Daris@thebenefitboutique.com. I'd love to hear and just hear and learn and connect and immerse in the silhouettes. How about that?
I like it. Good for you. See, who needs a script? We got it. Oh, yes. Goodness gracious. Okay, milady, thank you so much. And just so you know, and the audience knows, again, just like we talked about earlier, we will be sure and include those resources, your contact information and profiles in the resource section at the end of the show notes. So they've got that. But all right, milady, it has been absolutely amazing and fun, as you said it was going to be. Or you wouldn't have done it.
Nope.
You would have went click earlier. So that's good. That's good. All things were meant to be, all the fun hiccups and hurdles. And
that's
we had a joyful time getting through them and just sharing you and your light with the audience. So I don't have my closeout. I'm looking at my notes and I didn't print the script. So all I have to do is say thank you. Thank you for your time. And it has been a complete pleasure and joy. Thank
you for this invitation. And hello to everybody. We have given you got 2 permission slips now. Okay? 2. Take it, do what you want, and create your own happy ending.
That's right.
Thank you, Amber.
All right, my lady. Have a good one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Silhouettes of Success podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out and join us for all the new episodes. We are here for you and with you. We encourage you to share this podcast on all your socials and pass on the light to help illuminate another silhouette of success. Amber would love to hear from you, and you can find her on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or head over to amberweitzer.com. Let's connect. Help us all shine and leave us a review too. To find out the latest ways to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, and gain actionable insights, subscribe at amberweitzer.com. We are honored, humbled, and full of joy that you've tuned in. Remember, you are exactly where you need to be, right here with us. This is the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success.